And the history and the TV shows and all the media that you're given is made to make you seem like you're a babbling idiot. Every blink that's shown on that TV is to make you look like a fool. Every commercial, every sound you hear on the radio, every blink you see of yourself is to make you look like you have no sense at all. And the sad part about it, the audience just laps it up. We want more. We want more. Well, as everybody knows, because that's all everybody's talking about, there was something last night where two actors got into it. Tonight, we're going to show you how all that comes about and how we just fall into it and just make it like these people are more important to us than our families. Many do. So we're going to share some things with you and some ideas with you to let you know that all this stuff you seeing is total garbage. And you might want to not let your children participate in it. Joining me as always on Fridays, but today is Monday, is the Aftermath Clan mother, Lisa Cypress. How you doing, Lisa?
Say yo, Kayuk. How you doing? Hello to the chat. We got one person in the chat. Is that what we do?
No, they in here.
Okay, I don't know. I must be in a different StreamYard or something. A different. I don't know where I'm at. I'm not seeing y'all. Okay. I must be in the other whatever venue. But anyway, y'all, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for being the best chat in the land. I won't be able to see your chats because I think I'm in the wrong. I'm in the wrong. I'm in the other your other YouTube location, which is Indigenous One and Guest. So, but that's cool. I also encourage you guys to subscribe, like, because we need to have the Indigenous One needs to have a backup in case something goes to the left, that he can always switch his game and go to the other channel. You won't miss him. So like and subscribe there as well. Um, anyway, so this is the thing. Everybody's talking about the untalkable, the whether it's real or not. Who really cares? I mean, she got one little piece of hair missing on her head. She shaved her head. And let me tell you something. If you're a movie star, you get criticized all the time. I do not believe nobody has that thin of a skin if you've been in the business since you were daggone a young teenager. You mean tell me just being us, you got to have a thick skin. Just growing up, being the indigenous people that we are, we have to have somewhat of a thick skin. Growing up in Baltimore and Bmore and your mama a crackhead, yeah, you got somewhat of a thick skin. Don't tell me you don't. So the fact I don't believe none of that, but you know what? That's neither here nor there, because what we're doing is we living in like fairy tale land, and a lot of these things that we look at, they impact us. They want to be able to show that they can influence us, because if they can't show that they can influence us, they are no longer useful to that white elite globalist agenda. They have to be able to um, dictate, control, and so they have to show that they can bring us to attention, any means necessary, right? And that's what it's all about. But guess what? We already understand this. We overstand it. This is ridiculous. They are not in control of us. We don't respect them. And we know them to be puppets, agents, and sellouts. We cannot be interested in a bunch of sellouts. They do not get our attention or our money. Boycott the sellouts. Do not give them your attention. Do not give them your money. This is the thing. Our most powerful thing we can do is boycott. It ain't protesting. It ain't marching. It ain't, whatever. It is boycotting. Don't give them your money or your attention, and that's how you get heard, and that's how you get power. No money, no attention for sellouts. If they don't have the indigenous agenda in mind, if they're ignoring our true history, if they're not working with us, then they don't exist to us. Period. Give your money to each other. If you got to drive out of the way, it don't matter. If you got to go all the way across town, do that. But just stop spending your money and stop daggone giving these daggone boule sellouts your attention. Don't do it. Look at this.
You don't deserve to have the nicest room, and anyway, the view is spectacular from up there, you'll see.
It's not fair. The decision's final. When your father's away, I run this household.
And that means you have to answer to us, too. So you'll do everything we tell you, Cinderella.
But, right. And you'll wear this frock, too. This isn't mine. Yes, it is. It's the servant's uniform, and from now on, you'll be doing the cleaning, cooking, laundry, and anything else we want you to do. Is that clear?
Wow!
That's the indigenous life. Somebody comes in, takes over your household, and makes you you the servant. No, we're not doing that. And what we need to even understand is they didn't do it like that. That the more we research, the more we find out they didn't even get here to recently. These people are the master frauds, the masters of propaganda. They make up everything. Everything's a movie picture show to them. They make up everything they do. That's what we have to be aware of. And in being aware of that, you have to realize that in addition, we have to be careful of these little subliminal messages that they send us. A lot of us grow up listening to
So Lisa just popped out for a minute. She'll be right back in. But as she was saying about all this entertainment, you see, y'all, it's stupid. So you have Ukrainians moving in on your territory, and this is what you show the world. You see why people can show you get your children getting killed and all kind of dumb stuff? Because we tuned into their frequency. And what I mean by frequency is the frequency that they put out all that bullshit. And many of us just eat it up like it's reality, like it's the way we supposed to live our lives. What you're seeing now is that that media that they have is dying because, like Lisa said earlier, nobody's listening to that. Nobody listening. Lisa's back. Let's see what she got for us. Back, Lisa?
Yeah, you can keep going. Yeah, this is the thing. So basically, we understand that these fairy tales, but see, these stories that we watch, whether we're watching these, real housewives or murder shows, or all these jailhouse shows, or 48 hours, we're really subliminally programming ourselves. We need to be careful with what we're putting into our minds. More importantly, we need to be important. We need to be looking at what the next generation is looking at. These young kids, a lot of these cartoons got demonic and freaking freaky sexual kind of messages, homo erotic stuff, all kinds of stuff that they don't need to be looking at are in the in the things that they're watching. So we got to be careful of these things. I know I could tell you for sure. Like what I was telling is like we're just wonderful when we start out. I was looking at my grandbaby. She's confident. She knows her own mind. She ain't letting no strangers come to her. She's she bosses her brothers around. I want that. She knows herself, and that's perfect. That's perfect. I pray, and I want for her to have herself, that same sense of self, as she grows into her adult womanhood. But the thing about it is, so much is worn and taken from us as people as we grow. Whether it's damage from a lot of it's damage from some of the things we watch. Some of it's damage from our families, true enough. But all of that we need to kind of guard against. And all of that we also need to make sure we heal from. Okay? But this unnecessary damage, we need to do something about this unnecessary damage. And we also need to be mindful that a lot of these celebrities, they are just like doing dumb stuff for money that we really, like seriously, we really shouldn't even respect the stuff. Like it's ridiculous if you think about it. I mean, oh shoot, look at it. Seriously, you gonna copy Steel Magnolias? And look, these people look more like they keeping it real with being Southern women. And they look at all this extra. They got daggone magnolias all in their hair and their hats, copying off a movie that was done perfectly fine. But you don't have any Southern tales for our own people. Like, you can't, all this talent, and can't nobody come up with a story line about Southern life and a real Southern story about our people? Are you kidding me? This is the best we can do? Copying this mess? We have to do better, right? And there's even worse things that they're doing. And it's just like, why is it happening? And why are we thinking it's acceptable? It's not. I'm telling you, it's not at all acceptable. Just like the Cinderella. But even worse than Cinderella is this thing right here.
You might be asking yourself, can you actually create high quality live streams for free? Well, with StreamYard,
it's called Trip to the Bountiful. And it's a remake of another, Caucasian story that was done, whatever, was done just fine for them. But the thing about it is obviously a Caucasian story. And when you see us acting in this thing, when you see us doing this, it is revolting. It is revolting because the way they act, ain't no way. Watch this.
Sleep, Mother Watts. So long, Jesse, man, so long.
Here we go.
Don't say it. I'm gonna buy you mockingbird. That mockingbird don't say. I'm gonna buy you a diamond. Why don't you turn on the lights? What's the sense of sitting around in the dark? How you expect to go to work in the morning if you don't get your sleep, Looney?
I was hoping the hot milk would make me sleepy.
What's the matter with you that you can't sleep, Mother Watts? So long, Jesse, man, so long. What's that got to do with it? I don't know what's the matter with y'all. I never had any trouble sleeping in my life. I guess I have a clear conscience. Mother Watts, where's that recipe Rosella gave me on the phone today?
Yes, ma'am. I don't remember you having given me any recipe.
Well, I did.
Well, I certainly have no recollection of it.
You don't? I gave it to you this morning in this very room. And I said, please put away my dress. And you said, I will. And you went
Shit. Sorry, y'all.
out holding your hand.
Did you look on your dress?
Yes, ma'am.
And it wasn't there.
No, ma'am, I looked just before I went to bed.
Well, let me take a look around.
I swear. It just gets on my nerves. Now, I know we couldn't afford it before, so I kept quiet about it. But now you're working again. And I don't think a picture show once or twice a week will break us.
Why don't we go out one night this week?
Well, I think we have to. I was talking to Roselle about it on the phone this morning.
You always yell at because of friendly agreement.
this morning, she just all of a sudden called me up on the telephone. She said she'd quit being mad if I would. I said, shucks, I wasn't one that was mad in the first place. She was the one that was mad. I said, I was plain spoken. Said exactly what I felt. You're about to take me as I am and leave me alone. Rosella found out she definitely can't have any children. Walk, don't run. You know, your mother's pension check didn't come today. It's the 18th. I swear it was due. I can't understand the government. Always late. Did you find it?
Not yet.
Well, then forget about it. Look for it in the morning.
I'm gonna look for it till I find it.
Honestly, Ludi, she is so stubborn.
Keep you down, Sandy, Katie.
Now y'all know, ain't no way.
Rosella says she's glad to hear you working again. She said she was cleaning out some drawers the night before last and come across some pictures she'd taken of you and me when we first started going again. I said I don't care to see them. No, thank you. Passing of time makes me sad.
Here's your recipe, Jessamine.
Well, thank you, but I told you not to bother. Where'd you find it?
In your dresser drawer right inside.
In my dresser drawer?
Yes, ma'am. I looked on top of the dresser and it wasn't there. And so my head told me to look. Yes, ma'am.
Ludi, how many times?
But I thought you wanted me to find your recipe.
But I don't want you looking in my dresser drawers.
Yes, ma'am.
And just never let me catch you looking at them again. For anything. I can't stand people snooping in my dresser drawers.
All right, then. Next time, find it yourself.
Pick that recipe up, please.
Pick it up yourself. I have no intention of picking it up.
You pick that up.
I won't.
You will.
Jessie May, for God's sake, you're both acting like children. It's 1:30 in the morning.
You tell her to pick that up.
I won't.
You will. This is my house, and you'll do as you're told.
Y'all, that is enough. Okay. Now, this may, and she continues.
Don't sleep for the rest of the night. What you gonna do? Get him sick again?
This is insane. It is so disturbing to see them act like this towards their matriarch. I'm like, what? Okay, and let me set the premise of this movie. It's called A Trip to the Bountiful with Cicely Tyson, Blair Underwood, and Vanessa Williams. And the whole premise of the trip to Bountiful is the old lady, the mama, she wants to go back to her hometown. She wants to go to her house in Bountiful, Texas, before she dies. Now, mind it, they're not far away, right? They don't have a car, but they are able to get loan car, whatever, take the bus. They could have gone there, but they don't take her. And this is a white story, white folks do that kind of stuff to their mamas, right? These folks are playing this movie where they refuse to take her to Bountiful, Texas. She's tried to run off and go there by herself once, and they act like she's some kind of daggone crazy person for trying to get back there. And then she runs off to go there again, and she gets on the bus. She has to sneak around to hide from them, and then they fuss her out when she's there. It is disgusting. But that's but see, emulating this whole thing, that is what changes us. You see, because this can be a normal thing for a generation. Looking at this, they just posted this on YouTube from Lifetime and this year. So somebody looking at this, might, and let me tell you something, the dangers of some of this stuff. Because I was listening to somebody today, and they impressed me with the fact that they got their whole lives together. Young man got himself together, got himself a trade, doing all this stuff, and I was impressed by hearing all that. And I was like, despite the odds, working, getting yourself, taking care of your family. And what really shook me up was like hearing him say that he was the oldest in his family. Like, he don't have uncles that are older. He's the oldest. And I feel like that's true of a lot of people. A lot of families, if you're 30 something and you're the oldest one. If you're 30 something and you're the oldest one, where are you getting your examples from? That's the problem. Not that that's the problem, because that's a condition. But the problem is this, is that when we have all this information coming in, molding us, controlling us, that's when it becomes a problem, because we don't even have anything to balance it out with or to gauge whether it's right or not. It is crazy, and nothing that has to do with our culture would have us acting like these people acted in this scene. There's nothing that is right, normal about that.
So these three actors that are in this movie, I mean, they're accomplished people. They've been doing this for a while. Why do you think actors of that stature would stoop so low?
Well, I mean, COVID had, the COVID, they put the Negro actors on pause. I know that. I mean, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but all we was getting was African this, African that during COVID. And it's like all the actors, they wouldn't let them work. During that whole period of time, you didn't see nothing put out that was us. Even if it was a story, Harriet Tubman, it was African, everything African, right? So, I guess they just was anxious to be able to work. I don't know, but I think this movie was actually done in 2014, so I really don't think it had anything to do with COVID. So, I mean, the thing about it is, why would you? Just for a check? I mean, none of them, you're right, none of them are broke. Maybe they respect this as a classic movie, a classic story, but it's not our classic story. And the way they act in this classic story is anti our culture. I never want to see us act like that. This is nothing we should ever want anyone to emulate, imitate, or even really meditate on. We shouldn't even be thinking about considering acting like this. You saw how she was shuffling around the room like she was all scared and in a hurry. What the hell?
Calling her boss and looking up.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you saw it?
Like choking Vanessa Williams. And that's what I'm saying. These people, they've been doing this for years. They've been making this money, going to these parties, even the parties that Cat Williams talk about.
Right.
They have money, and I mean, and like you said, there's other stories, way other stories that we can put. Well, it's not we, because they're a part of a bigger picture. All they are to me are all of them. Every single one of them are sock puppets.
It's disgusting. And yeah, Moonface, embarrassing. You're right, isn't it? Right, exactly. Yeah, Big Chief Noble. Like she was the maid. You're talking to your husband's mother like that. Like that's inconceivable. That is inconceivable. That is not part of our culture. We don't behave like that.
Nope.
And I don't see I don't see why you would monkey around and play act like we do act like that. That's the way we're supposed to be. See, that's what they want us to do. They want us to imitate it till it becomes real,
And many times it has.
Exactly. That's the thing. You got it. That's the thing. We actually watch it, we imitate it, and then it becomes part of us. Because, like, this whole women's lib thing, the whole, like, taking, I can do what I want with my body. I can clap my cheeks outside my body. I can walk around with no clothes on and paint the daggone Ukrainian flag on my body and paint the daggone Russian flag on my body and walk around my girlfriend naked. And that's cool. With body paint. It's okay.
I think one day we're gonna look back and see how dumb ass clapping is.
All this public display of your damn asshole. It's got to stop. You know what I mean? We were sophisticated people, decorum and classy. We've always been that way. If you read about old books about the Indians, when they saw us, James Adair wrote that the women were very modest and well mannered. I don't care if you want to show your stuff up to its, come on now. This is going too far. There's sexy and there's just nasty. And we've gone to just raunchy, nasty, funky. We've gone too far.
And it's controlled by the media.
All this stuff. Like, we need to be dictating what our culture is, not what we watch, and then what we want to imitate. Exactly, it's controlled by the media. They put in front of you what they want you to do. And you know what? Let me tell you, y'all. Let me tell you how deep this is. Back in the day, and you'll know this, Carrie. Like back in the day, when you used to be like up top, like live up in New York or whatever, you think you're the flyest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? Or Cali, you
Right.
think you're the flyest thing in the world when you go down south, right?
Right.
And in a sense, back in the day, you were, because there was music that you had that they didn't hear in other parts of the country.
Right.
And there was dances you were doing that they weren't doing down south, right? So you come out there, you come down south, you fly. You coming with the new dances. You got your records you're playing, and they're like, what? You got clothes that's different. You see, that's how it was, right?
Right.
Well, now everything that is done is instantaneously shared throughout the world. So your little raunchy butt clapping, somebody in there going, some remote place in New Zealand, one of them Maoris or one of them Australians are doing that same stuff. Somebody in South Africa, now that they got their freedom, they trying to butt clap too. That's sad. They butt clapping, in Johannesburg. That ain't right.
No, what's not right, really, is it? Is
that ain't right.
That seriously, humans look at it like it's cool. I'm doing my thing. I can do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
Like it's cool. Like you say, ego eroding.
It really is. And the thing about it is that what we think is what we got to look like a certain thing. People are actually getting their fat put in their ass for real. Like they're getting abnormal shapes permanently. Abnormal for them. Permanently. Not like your mama. Not like your cousins. I mean, some people normally, like in my family, got certain shapes, like everybody's family. But people are changing their shapes. Their dad going altering themselves and all this stuff. Why? Because of all that they see every day. The enormous, and I know, let me tell you, I am not against, me and the indigenous one myself, we get into it about several things: makeup, hair weave, and reproduction. But the makeup videos, the amount of makeup that these people put on their face, and the amount of money that people waste on that stuff is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling.
Well, why? Okay, so why is it mind-boggling? I mean, that we do that. I mean, so if sisters stop playing that makeup game, what do you think would happen to the whole beauty industry?
It'll be gone, baby.
So if we know that, and this, whatever this is, this matrix that we live in, why don't we put anything, you know what I'm saying? How come we don't do that?
How come we don't do that?
Simple stuff.
I mean, this is the thing. This is the thing. Now, in defense of makeup, I'm gonna say this. Women have always adorned themselves. They've always done extra. They've drawn on their faces. They've done, tattooing. That is part of our culture. I'm not gonna say it's not.
Okay. No.
I'm not gonna say it's not, but we
but,
made
but
our
having but having foreigners do it is not a part of your culture.
Oh my God, what is that?
Right?
Oh my God. What is that? Okay. Okay.
And
See,
that's
that's
cool.
That's the thing. This is the thing. It goes really, really far. And that's, I don't even understand it. It's become like an addiction, right? That's the problem. And the fact that you feel like you are that it's in your phone, and you're feeling like you're compelled to do it because you see somebody else doing it. And that's and like in school and stuff, that copycat stuff, that's part of our human nature. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, as they see it, they gonna copy it. You know what I mean? That's part of what we do. But now it's in our faces all the time. It's our main form of entertainment. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, some of this.
Listen, as long as we go along with it, they'll come over and we cool with it.
Right.
See, we can't say, and I know you and I, we get into it over some things, but the reality is when you were doing all this stuff, you were doing it. You were coming up with the ideas. Now you let anybody write all over your body. And then when somebody talks about it, we get into the dumbest conversations. Are you serious?
Right.
All these places around here and opened up these spots, and you walk in and get served. And so we're not supposed to say nothing. We're not supposed to tell the kids nothing. We can't, because everybody's always whining and bitching about, I can do what I want to do. Come on, y'all. Really? And this is what we're reduced to?
This is what we do.
And like Ex-Dosia say, it's inexcusable. This shit is inexcusable. But we think it's cool. We'll just shut up and go back in the hole.
Exactly. That's what we do. Because we're so just used to just going along and accepting everything that they shove down our throats. But guess what? We don't have to accept it. And guess what? Our lack of participation is showing that we ain't into it. And also, we could tell them, verbalize that this is not acceptable. I don't want to see this stuff. The thing is,
I think a lot of times it flows through that. We're into that celebrity worship. We don't say nothing about the dumb shit that they put out. We just worship them even more. This garbage that they give you to ingest, you should be embarrassed that your mind is being infiltrated with shit like that. I mean, most of it. 90% of the stuff that comes across their media about you is not you. You don't even have no say-so in what's said about it. They'll get a compromised Negro like your Tyler Perry's and the other cats that put out these type, and let them put about stuff all about your grandmom and granddaddy. They'll dress up in dresses all day looking like your grandmom and granddaddy. And this is what the world see of you. So what do you think about what all these, what are they, Ukrainians, these Ukrainians coming over here? What do you think about them watching movies like Medea over where they're from and then coming over here dealing with the people who they're being shown on TV. What you think about that?
Or well, from everything we're hearing, they're already racist. So
Right.
yeah, these kind of minstrel shows of us, yeah, that's very, very damaging. And then we let daggone Bill Cosby be crucified by these daggone turncoats and assholes, you know. And so now, I mean, it's like his programming is a no watch thing, right?
Right.
Cancel Bill Cosby's shows, cancel R. Kelly's music. Everything's canceled because, and then meanwhile, the greatest pedophiles and molesters and murderers, half of these people are not just nasty. They're not just nasty boys. Nasty boys. They're not just nasty boys.
R. Kelly gets a pass.
You know what? Look, this is how I feel about R. Kelly. He pissed on a girl, and her parents gave her up. I don't know. These girls defend him. They beat me. They would cut me if I tried to get in the way of them getting to him. What am I supposed to say about that? Were they manipulated? Were they used by their parents? Yes. Were is it wrong? Yeah. Would they be out there with some pimp or some other asshole if it wasn't R. Kelly? Most likely.
But would you feel about that pimp the way you feel about R. Kelly? No. But okay, like I say, I
Would
have
I
my
feel about
opinion.
that pimp the way I feel about R. Kelly? R. Kelly, okay. So
No.
there's a lot of factors going into that situation. A lot of ignorance, a lot of daggone slowness, because we all think R. Kelly is because he can sing, he's smart. He speaks daggone, he's illiterate, he's slow. Y'all, has anybody said that R. Kelly is slow? Has anybody verbalized that? He's slow, y'all. He ain't really, he probably don't have the mentality of but a 14 or 10-year-old. Has anybody actually thought about that?
So that
R.
gives him a
Kelly
pass.
is slow as fuck. He ain't smart. He's probably only on a 10-year-old level. Maybe 10, maybe 12. I'm just saying. It doesn't excuse it, but I'm also just saying. I mean, actually, if you actually, if I was defending him, then I would probably look into that, because I bet you I could prove that he's fucking like a damn 10-year-old and get him off. But anyway, I mean, I really think he's slow. But anyway, and if you are mentally handicapped, I mean, it's a different story, right? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. Okay. What? This is the thing. What? This is the thing. How old were the girls? I forgot. 14, 15. How old were they?
I mean, they were young like that, but I'm talking about from his point of view and from any man's point of view. I
Is
mean,
he a man?
who?
R. Kelly.
No, I'm talking about what they're posting as. He does man things like he marries people and he has children and stuff. He's a millionaire because that's what most people forget what he does. He got money.
I love this conversation. This is a good conversation. But yeah, it's true. I mean, he's a man.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
This is the thing. Okay. This is the thing. Let's look at it. Let's look at R. Kelly. All right. R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Start with that one. She was a child. Her mama and daddy let him marry her. And then she got murked like a sacrifice. She was sexually, then she was physically sacrificed, murdered. So I don't know. This is what I really feel like. I feel like R. Kelly's deep into that damn demonic, sacrificial type of damn sexual deviant world with all them other elites. Right? He up there. He was all up in there. They knew what he was doing. He knew what everybody else was doing. Nobody was talking about it.
So he gets a pass.
He don't get a pass. But the problem with that is they are still getting away with it.
Well, damn, if everybody
Thousands
loves him,
and
he's gonna
millions
get
of
away
them.
with it. If everybody loves him, if everybody gives him a pass, if everybody think he whatever, he's gonna get a pass.
Same thing with daggone Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was daggone inviting girls to his hotel room. And he had a joke about giving him a damn Mickey, slipping a Mickey in his drink. That's what, but the thing is, they cover for them until they don't. They cover for them until they don't. And it's not, and if you are, and if you a Negro, there's a don't clause in it. Because they will definitely pull your card. Now, they will cover to the end for each other. But for these Negroes who think they are up there in there with these people, there's a card that they will pull on your ass. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't know, man.
No, you're saying it right.
It's that celebrity shit. Like they're going, y'all heard the other part of Dan Will Smith acting like, oh, you gotta do things in this business. They just manipulate you and play games. Yeah, you do things willingly and you lie to us willingly. And you try to get our daggone attention away from what we should be getting at. And you really know what's going on, but you don't tell us. That's the fucked up thing about these celebrities. They know what politics are going on. They know about this new world order, what they intend to do. They know about them trying to annihilate us. And they know these Negroes are waking up, but they're not talking about it.
So do you think this is a part of it, but that they have to show their true colors and try to get the people really into it?
Yes. Oh, into distraction. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then look at the whole agenda. They was wearing ribbons in support of Ukraine. What the fuck is that? When have we ever done that shit in the history of this damn country? Supported Ukraine for what? We don't even know who the villain is. It ain't even nothing we give a damn about, or should we?
Damn, I didn't know that.
All these stars was wearing blue ribbons in support of Ukraine.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm telling you they were. That's the thing. Yes. See, nobody really watched it, but somebody did a video and they talked about that. They was wearing blue ribbons in support of Ukraine, and they also was like saying gay, 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 because somebody said you can't, there's some country says you can't say you gay on television. So they kept saying gay, 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 gay. And they wore blue ribbons in support of Ukraine. They're friggin' evil idiots. And they think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. Do I have that in my damn thing? Let me see if that video is in my history where they're gonna talk about it, break down the damn.
So which one is this one?
I'm gonna try to see if I got that video where they break the I think it was a white guy broke it down. Oh, it's not in this one. Shit, it's in my other YouTube. Well, that's okay.
While she's finding that, I just want to spread this, pass this on. Remember, you have an imagination. We all have imaginations. You can imagine what you want. But these people are out here putting these type of movies, these type of sock puppets in your face to what the title says, to erode your ego. where you have no confidence in yourself,
Well,
where you're just a bumbling idiot. That's what that's for. I mean, so check this out. So this is how you know. Remember, this is how Negroes do. Remember a couple of years ago they did a remake of Superfly? What, that was the shittiest movie ever. and this is the shit we do. So this is how, I mean, it's way more than that. But this is how you know this is the kind of stuff they put out to keep you in a stupor. You don't have no stories. Precious, for real, cuz. And all we do is remake other stuff and swallow scripts that they give us, play roles that they say, because we're incompetent, because we look at these cats as heroes, as stars. Huh? You see what Will Smith and how his wife raised their children, and they can make you watch and believe and spew all that energy into them. For real? So I think we got to be a little bit more wise on the stuff we see in the social media, that we hear on this media, or this whole media thing. I say if we just turned our backs on it, I think things would turn out a little bit better for us. You got it, Lise? Moonface says it influences what we value. It's true. They're influencers. That's why the people in social media, they're called influencers, because they're going to influence what you do. That's what all these people we just talked about, these stars. Do you see the people when these people are walking down their so-called red carpet, and the people who are out screaming for them? You know, those people are paid, right? Those people are paid to scream and yell. And you talk about some of the most demonic people ever. Really? You know what needs to be done? This would be real cool. So you know how they coming out with all these guys dogging all these women out. And they just pushing women to the brink of insanity, where men can compete against women and the women don't say shit. Women will go along with it and then wonder why shit turned out for them bad later. Seriously, y'all? This is the way of the world? This is the way of the world we imagine? This is the way of the world that we are leaving for our children? Those people up in devil. Oh, you know what? I want to give a shout out. And many of you guys know this cat. A couple of years ago, what's the dude that died? Just on his name just left my mind. Jordan Maxwell. Jordan Maxwell died a couple of days ago. For those of you who don't know Jordan Maxwell, check him out. Check out Jordan Maxwell. And Jordan Maxwell was the cat that gave the information to me to let me know how all these churches are, this whole spiritual thing that they're doing. Because I, like everybody else, was raised up in that church. I really wasn't raised up in it since I could prove that it was bullshit from the jump. Moms didn't really bother me too much on it. But he was a cat that would give information about all these religions, this Hollywood stuff, all kind of esoteric knowledge. Jordan Maxwell, check him out. It will up your knowledge base. So I just want to give a shout out to Jordan Maxwell. It will up your knowledge base tremendously. He was on it. So I want to give a shout out to him. And like I say, your imagination. What do you say? See, that's one of the things we're gonna have to get out of later for what other people say, what you say. It's like you not on the planet for no reason, just to do what somebody tells you to do. And that's why these images are put in your face. This why it's made you to make you look like a savage. That's what it does. And like Lisa said earlier, these people know what they're doing. They're getting paid. Remember, the Negro's only purpose in life is to get paid. That's what he's been reduced to. You see, when we tell you to go look at your family, they weren't like that. They were building the family structure, building what they had around them, their farms, taking care of animals, getting into businesses where they were taking natural resources from the earth and using it for themselves. This is who you come from, but you choose to come from a character in a book. Candy D says all of it was staged. How many people agree with her? It's always all staged. Why? Because we are not using our imagination. Watch with these people. I mean, it would be better off if you don't. Because if you know how you were, you're all connected. Wherever you are, you're all connected, especially indigenous people in America. You're connected. You're connected. You got so many ideas. Imagine all the ideas that are floating around out there, but they're never used because we're always watching ego eroding bullshit like they put up for us to watch.
Really not even worth even getting into it anymore, because it just takes us away from what we should be doing, what we should be talking about. And what we should be talking about is like, how do we get better? How do we step away from it? I can tell you for a fact, I didn't have all this stuff growing up, right? We didn't come up with this all this extra stuff, and I thank God that we didn't. But I did watch a lot of old movies, and those old movies were hella dramatic and oftentimes very tragic. Okay. So, why in the world? I mean, and I think that had an impact on me. You know what I mean? I really do. Because promise you, I didn't learn it from my family. I think I really kind of romanticized the drama and the struggle and all of that. And that's really sick. I can't tell you how doggone sick it is to when you start romanticizing drama and struggle and conflict. Or how about murder? You are doing something damaging to yourself. Really, you are. And it's really, I mean, you think it ain't, you think it's not affecting you, but it is. It really is, because you will subconsciously act out that inner fantasy.
Lisa, can you give us an example of that?
Man, let me tell you. I mean, it's just real. The drama is real. So anyway, so when you're, I could give you an example, because okay, like really, I watched a lot of Little House on the Prairie and back in the day things and old, and I would watch movies like with the Bronte sisters and Jane Eyre, and the guys were always brooding and moody and had issues in these old period films. And I promise you, I married somebody who was moody and brooding and had issues, and you know what I mean, and I, it's just like you, it became, when I actually, look back on it, It was the stuff that I was programmed into liking. The stuff that I fantasized about manifested in my life. I can promise you that. So I really feel like we now got to be careful with our media diet. We got to be really careful about what we're taking in. It is toxic. It's toxic. I mean, it erodes at your ego for real. I wasn't raised to be insecure, dealing with somebody's drama, moodiness. That's not what I was raised to be. That's not what I was how I was born acting. But let me tell you, when you start, that becomes something you keep looking at and looking at, and that's part of your daggone inner monologue. You're gonna gravitate to that, whether you realize it or not. And it's a problem. It is really a problem. So we need to counter that. It's like we gotta. First of all, if we went outside and sat by a tree more and read more, that's what we're discussing. Now we're gonna come to our solution part, because we always, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we try not just to talk about problems. We try to offer you some solution, somewhat. So the solution is that, not just that you change that you stop watching the crap and not following these celebrities and all this drama and everybody, and don't believe the hype. Everybody, it's also kind of eroding with all the people that brag all the time on Facebook and all the time. It kind of makes you, it can kind of bring you down, and that you think, well, damn, they got it all going. I mean, you don't need to have all of that. Even some good, too much of the good stuff coming from somebody acting like their life is perfect is also a little bit dramatic and damaging too. We don't need all that excess outside drama. We don't need it. Well, no matter how, in whatever form it comes in. I mean, if we focus on getting ourselves to be the best and higher self that we can be, reading is fundamental. Read a book. You can put it down. You can, make it, you can kind of formulate it the way you want to. You are involved in the exchange when you read a book. And it's better for you. It's better for you than a lot of this stuff. Another thing, just listen to music. We don't listen to music like we used to. We need to be listening to music more than ever, and we need to listen to old music. Listen to the music that your parents used to listen to, because they were winning with that music. That music was edifying. That music was like, it was soul music. Soul music, they got rid of that because they saw what it was doing for us. No more soul music, urban, R&B. No, no, no. Don't call it soul, because it was actually building our souls up, strengthening our souls. Jazz, they took that away from us. They listen to that because they know it's good for them. Gardening, farming, they didn't know nothing about that. Fishing, they didn't know nothing about that. They were surrounded by water and then wasn't eating fish. That's a fact. They were crazy dumb. They didn't know. So what we need to do is get back to those things that build us up, that makes us independent. And they're going, go get some chickens or something. I got some eggs that's gonna be hatching. I might be able to get some for me if they actually make it, if they survive. But you know, chickens are so fun to watch. They are funny, they have personality, and they give you delicious eggs. I highly recommend it. They're very neat. Let me stop talking about this. But anyway, let me stop talking about chickens. I could though. I could do a whole build on that. But anyway, basically, like, we have to be doing other things to kind of make our stand. But I just want to talk about the healing of our psyche, of our egos, because this stuff is eroding our egos. And how do we go about that? The other thing is, like I said, watching what we put into ourselves, but also we got to heal ourselves. Dag, if I was not damaged. Not only was I damaged, but I was very, very insecure and very immature. And I know a lot of people like, I ain't gonna talk to nobody, I ain't gonna do nothing for me. Let me tell you something. If you get yourself a good brother or sister, counselor to talk to, and it's not what they say, because they really don't say anything. It's the fact that you got another being, another soul person to exchange your words to. It could be a good friend, but everybody else got opinions. They don't. They. I mean, I think. I mean, we need to value the the effects of just personal counseling with our own people. With your own people, it can be a very powerful thing, and you don't even have to take that long. I mean, and also understand that we have to have a balance in our minds. A lot of times we have a lot of depression, we have a lot of anxiety. Brothers and sisters have a lot of anxiety. It's a big problem. Anxiety can kill you. It does kill people. And so I would recommend that people, not recommend, but I'm not even going to say whatever, but I will tell you that I will relay that magnesium is extremely important for you to take in as an element for your mind, it'll get rid of depression, it'll help you balance out. We always lose magnesium. It flushes out of your body every day, and it's very important to your muscles, your heart, and your mind, especially your mind. Okay. And it definitely will help you, in good high doses, for you to get you clear up some anxiety and depression. It'll help with it. you know Calcium, magnesium, a balance of those, and a little bit of potassium is very important for you to have, to maintain those elements. um and also just exercise, fresh air, and laughter. Like, laughing is like the most powerful drug that there can be. Sex, exercise, laughter, fresh air, water, good, clear, purified spring water. Awesome. Like, that's the best. And I can always say, get your, if you don't have a spring, if if bottled water, I don't know, something with some good pH, and we got to get back to nature. Definitely, we have to be able to 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 meditate. To just, you don't even have to meditate. Just breathe and look at some branches. Breathe and look at the grass, blades of grass. That's all you got to do. It doesn't have to be complicated. And don't underestimate the power of a hot bath. Hot baths are underrated and underutilized. And you can soak in a hot bath of magnesium by just taking an Epsom salt bath. And in that way, you're soaking your body with the magnesium that you truly do need in your body. It's another way to treat yourself to magnesium that you need. Now, a hot bath with some candles and just staring at the candles is a magical way to reset yourself. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And another thing you might want to do too, since this is the new year just starting, it's starting to get warm, you want to get out. You want to get out. You want to go swimming in some of these lakes and rivers, canoeing down some of these lakes and rivers, being in these mountains in this heat while it's starting to heat up. You want to be a part of what's going on, because that's more important than just going to the movies or watching these TVs. It also helps you with your imagination, because you're going to see things that you've never seen before. So, this is a good time. I mean, start communicating with the animals, the birds. You know, the animals, they communicate. They have a way to communicate. You used to know how to do that, but you know, since the integration, you picked another route. But this whole thing that we call life, you are a part of it. But if you listening to these people, these ego eroding people tell you what you are, who you are, how to act, wear that mask on your face, whatever they say, you're just going to be reduced to a clump of jelly. That's what's happening. What'd you say, Lise?
Sorry.
You muted yourself again.
Oh, okay.
You muted yourself again.
Hello? A whole
Okay.
arena full of celebrities wearing blue ribbons to signify their solidarity with daggone Ukraine is insane. Do you see how obvious these people are trying to manipulate and control? It doesn't make any sense. Sitting up there saying gay, gay, gay. Let me tell you something. We don't want our kids being polluted with sex. Can we have a G-rated world for our babies, please? What people are doing in the bedroom don't have to be a subject of a daggone all day conversation with your children in the room. It doesn't have to be. It didn't used to be. That's not our culture. We do not hate. We don't hate. But there's a place for it, and it's not all up in my kid's face. That's where it's not supposed to be. We have a right to control what our children hear and don't hear. And these mother suckers will try to tell you that you don't. They try to tell you as celebrities and politicians, they're going to tell you what your children needs to hear. And that's abuse. That is pedophilia. That's molestation. You're molesting my children by making them exposed to things that are too much for their young minds. That's what these people are doing.
And this is what I'm saying, y'all. You if you don't say nothing now, your ass might never get the chance to say nothing. And you see the direction these people are taking this. And for us to just sit up and just don't say nothing, I ain't got nothing to say. Nah, cuz that ain't how it rolls. They are really trying to stop us from growing,
Right.
advancing. Whatever life has for you, whatever your ancestors put forth, whatever thoughts and dreams and imagination they used you. You were the end point. You were what they were thinking about. And it's the same thing you're supposed to be doing now with the children that's coming forward. And they're trying to cut that shit off. We can play like we don't know, but you know.
Right.
You know, they don't even, many of us don't think anyway. These people don't even want you thinking about nothing.
They don't want you to think about anything except what they want you to think about. And these stars, yeah, they got them under the damn thumb, and they got them on more restrictions now than ever.
Can't hear you.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they killed Kobe. That was a sign to all of them. Look, we don't care if you think about trying to be real with this or give your damn opinion. Because you notice now, don't nobody stand up and give their opinions. The half of these stars would go a little rogue and say and have their opinions about certain things. Well, now everybody or they're like Nazi soldiers. They all marching to the same beat. They are all marching to the same beat. You better wear that blue ribbon. You better. You better say gay is great. You better be like, oh, me too, sensitive. You don't have the right to say, you need to stop acting like a hoe. You don't need to go to Bill Cosby's hotel room and you know that nigga's married. How about that, hoe? Why you going to a married man's hotel room anyway? Why you getting on a plane and meeting up with a married man? Ho? You don't have no responsibility? Ho? What are you? You're not responsible? Huh?
Oh,
Ho? Huh? You what are you, like a little, what are you, an idiot? No, but you can't, you can do, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I just went over there. Like, oh, but you want equal rights, equal pay, but your sorry ass don't understand that when you go to this guy's hotel room, you're not there to play Parcheesi. Yes, I'm dating myself. I know you don't know what that game is, but yeah, that's what they used to play, Parcheesi and stuff like that. But anyway, that's not what they were there for.
how?
It's ridiculous that this Me Too got you not saying somebody needs to check themselves, tuck your skirt, tuck your shirt and your skirt, pull your slip down, and act like you have some sense. No, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, you can't even say that. You can't say that. Oh, they're free to be hoes and then blame someone because, oh, well, I said yes by all my actions, but I really meant no. Really? Really?
Oh man.
I don't get that. Because at a certain point, you have to be responsible. You have to say, look, I'm not gonna try to send this nigga no mixed messages. I ain't about getting screwed tonight. So I'm not showing up. We we can meet in a restaurant, but I ain't going back to his room. At a certain point, you have to say, I am a whole adult woman in control of my vagina.
Oh. Hey, I think I speak for all the brothers. See, they try. Okay, so like we're talking about this media and how the program you played, Trip to the Bountiful, how
Yeah,
they were playing characters of another culture.
right,
So like this whole Bill Cosby thing,
right.
and this is I haven't found one brother who said different. That chick who they tried to put up, I think it's a dude, one of them she's, that Angela Constant.
Oh yeah, she does look like a man. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
several of them look like men though, for
Right.
sure.
I'm sorry. I don't think Bill was on that. I don't think Bill would just hunt she down like that. Huh?
Hey,
Huh?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Come
I
on,
don't know what.
Bill. So no,
I mean,
I think character assassination, whatever you want to put it. But whatever you said, what you said.
but you know what? Oftentimes, y'all always go and will screw somebody that look way worse than your wife. That happens all the time. So that is a constant thing.
No, not all dudes do that. I mean,
Not all dudes, but that is often a thing. I'm telling you, it happens very often.
yeah.
Very often. You may assume that all brothers hitting and she fine. No, they be there going dogging it out with a dog. The woman don't look nowhere near as pretty as they wife, and they be there going hitting it.
Yeah.
Just because it's offered to them and it's extra. Just because it's extra.
Is that what you think it is? It's
I don't even know I don't know what y'all be thinking.
No. I'm saying
it must be because it's extra. Because I don't understand it at all.
Well, you said extra, and I thought that was kind of It's funny how you call it, because do you think it's because brothers think they don't have enough and they need more? They need
Yeah,
extra.
I think that is part of our unhealed psyches, our unhealed egos. We don't feel like we're enough. When a
Right,
man doesn't feel like he's enough, he tries to prove that he's enough
right.
by getting some more. And a lot of it is from their mamas.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is because mama didn't have no time for him. Mama didn't act like she liked it, the other brother better. You
Mm-hmm.
know, mama was too busy doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they don't feel whole. You know, and a lot of we need to spend the time to get ourselves whole. You know, it's not going to happen without work. It's not, and the first step in getting whole is realizing you have a problem. If a woman is running to a married man's room or making bad decisions, stop making decisions. Like, just stop it. If you don't know how to make a decision that's good, stop making decisions.
Ho!
I'm just saying. That's what, it's just that simple. So you're like, man, I didn't mean to do that. I got to take the morning after pill. Like, if you're doing dumb shit, it's time for you to sit still and don't do nothing, because you are not making responsible, healthy decisions. You have to heal. And sitting still is one thing, but you also probably need to talk to someone. There are apps now you can call, you can get online and talk to somebody. You know, I mean, you could go, I don't care, you can go to a Catholic church and stand in the booth. I never did that, but you could do that and just talk to the priest, I guess. I don't know. But you need to heal. And whatever means you can do it, get healed, because you moving on in this life, you're just leaving damage behind you, like just like a bunch of daggone tampons. You're just throwing damage out. Don't do it. It's not healthy. And these men who aren't healed by their mothers, you got to start thinking about that. You got to start talk to her, deal with it, address it. But this is what I can give you advice to everybody who has a fucked up daddy or a fucked up mother or both. They are human. They can only be what they are. Their being fucked up does not make you fucked up. We come through our parents. We are our own people. And your genes are probably somebody from so far beyond you don't even know them. But if you did your genealogy, you would. But you spout from the greatest combination of genes and that are out there. The greatest people in your family tree. And if and you need to grasp onto the fact that you are the culmination of all the greatness in your family. Your mother and father are just conduits. You come from a people that gave you the best that they have in them. Don't let their failure erode at your ego. They're not allowed to do that either. Nobody in your family is allowed to take from who you are. Families can be extremely damaging. They can be the most damaging things in our lives. Why? Because they're close to us. Why? Because we care. But what we have to realize is that we are more than just our immediate family. We are the culmination of millions of other people that are fantastic and magical. These people were the people that brought you into being. And you can thank them and love them just for that. Just for that. They get nothing more. But you can give them their respect for being conduits. Thank you for letting me pass through you. You piece of shit, you. You know what I mean? No, I'm just saying. If they are lousy, they're lousy. And you ain't got, there's nothing you can do to change that. All you can do is rise above it and heal above it. Heal over the fact that, yeah, they was a piece of shit. But guess what they made? They made me, and I am fly. They made me, and I am magnificent. I am fantastic. Damn, they did a good job. You are the best thing they did. That's what you got to grab. You are the best thing they did. That's how we heal. And then you won't be subjected to women that just want to daggone boss you around and take your money and manipulate you and cheat on you. And then you won't be daggone subjected to men who just want to use you, abuse you, cheat on you, make you feel less than, talk down to you, chip at your daggone ego daily by neglect and disrespect. You won't manifest that because you will know your worth. You'll know that you're the best of everything that came before you. You'll know how daggone fabulous you are. And that's the goal, is for us to heal and be the best us that we can be. That's the goal. Is to be, content, happy within ourselves. That's what's up. We gotta just find that sense of joy, find that sense of joy, that we used to have. Just, that inner child, that the simple things, you don't have to have a romantic happy ending because we end by ourselves, right? So we got to have a happy ending within ourselves. That's the first goal, is to be content with ourselves and to love ourselves. And then that's the only way you're going to be able to accept somebody else, is to be whole within yourself and to be happy within yourself. Be good to yourself. Does that make sense?
You know it do.
All right.
So, hey, what you want to close it out with, Lisa? How you want to tell everybody good night?
Well, in talking about the fact that we need to ignore all these different external things that are trying to distract us, and let's get internal. Let's look at the things that are going to edify and build us up. And our heroes are in our genealogy, and we got to pick better heroes, and we got to pick better input. We're like a computer. If you push crap in, we're going to get crap out. We've got to edit our content, right? Edit the content that gets to come in our lives. If people are toxic, we need to leave them out. And even like your family, like I said, you love them for a distance. If they're toxic, they're toxic, but you respect them. The biggest thing you can do is forgive them. But leave them over there, but forgive them. Because the forgiveness is going to heal you. I just had a real revolution this week when I looked at an old picture of my license, and I said, damn, that was when the license was done when I had my divorce. And I was only 30 something years old. And I was like, I was dumb as shit. I was dumb. I was naive. I'd done a lot of things already in my life, but I didn't realize any of it. And I didn't give myself any credit. I knew not what I was doing. I knew not what I was worth. I was insecure. I was messed up. I had no business to be having children. I mean it when I look back at that girl, I'm like, oh Jesus. But then the other thing that I realized is that my ex-husband, so was he. He was a mess. He was insecure. But no wonder we messed up. No wonder we got married to people that we shouldn't have got married to when we shouldn't have got married. Dumb, naive. When you know this, when you can look back at your mistakes and who you are, and you can have forgiveness in your heart for your ex and say, you know what? He was naive and stupid and insecure too. No wonder. We have to understand and open up our pathways to forgiveness. You ain't got to forget. You ain't no chump, but you forgive. You let that go on. And it opens up so much of your heart. And you also need to get back to the things that made you happy. Play with old toys. Do things that you used to do. Play hopscotch. Get a jump rope. Get back to outside doing things that you used to do. You used to have to be outside all day. If you wasn't, your mama wouldn't have you in the house. You can bring your laptop and work outside in the sun. Everything you do inside, you can do outside. You can cook outside, just put it on the grill. You can increase your outside time in a large way and increase your oxygen and increase your sun, because we all need that. We're sun people. And that's all I got to say is start looking at things that are going to edify you and not things that are going to erode you.
So we're going to end here, but before we end, I want to just go over something Lisa just said, and this is very important. When you do the genealogy of your family, and like she said, our mothers and fathers are just the portal we get through here. You're created by a whole bunch of people. And when you're looking on that tree, remember, all that fruit you see on that tree, you are one of those fruits. Thank you guys for listening tonight, and we'll see you next time. Peace.